How's training going?
And how we good, we train well.
All right. Are we all
Yep.
set? Plum, are you good?
I'm all good, thanks.
Meryl, as soon as I start the meeting, if you'll record for me again, that will be a
Yes.
huge thank you so much. Okay, I'm just going to admit the media.
Because any look at tricky, especially when you want to play.
Morning all, I'm just going to wait one moment to see if we have more media joining us this morning.
Thanks, Amy.
Like Amy sucks, Tom. I'll give one for Laura.
That's a nice one. Let's check if they got the shark case. What
Yeah.
size?
Should be the same size
As Amy.
as Amy.
All right, let's get started. Good morning, media. Thank you so much for joining us for today's team release announcement. We have today joining us head coach John Plumtree, ahead of the Hollywood Bet Sharks game against Benetton Rugby taking place this Saturday, kickoff at 16:05. Nathan, your hand is raised. You may proceed with your question.
Thank you very much, Amy. Amy, might I go ahead with two questions or just one so long?
You may go ahead with both questions, Nathan.
Thank you very much. Good day, John. John, you've gone with a sort of a full strength team from what I've looked at your starting 15 and your bench. Were you taking the Benetton versus Gloucester game in mind in preparing for the final? Because I mean they played against each other in the semis.
No, it's nothing really around the opposition. It's more around us. I just feel we need to play well in a couple of areas that I wasn't happy with against Claremont. I think it certainly wasn't a perfect game from our side. We were disappointed with our set piece didn't function as well as we wanted to. So we've had a good week, good 2 days working on some of those areas that let us down. So I want to fix that up, and also, Benetton are a really good side, and it's really important for us that we do well in our home games. So yeah, I gave the players a break when we got back. We had Monday and Tuesday off, train Wednesday and Thursday, lightened it up today. So yeah, looking for a good performance from the boys this weekend.
The URC this week named it the Kids Round. How has the side embraced the whole idea of the Kids Round?
Yeah, I had to do a little thing with the kids this morning. Stefan de Blanche, his little boy, John Dazel's little boy, Rion Swanepoel, who else was there? Neil Powell's boys, Butch James's boys. So yeah, we had a real crew down there this morning in the changing room. It was really cute. Make me feel a bit old, but real cute.
Jan, followed by Kaniso.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, John. John, there's the obvious thing. I mean, you obviously got the big game coming in, and part of that will be building towards that. But if you look at Benetton specifically, what did they bring different that you didn't see last week and that you might not see in the final?
I think Benetton are going to provide a real quality opposition for us. Their set pieces have been functioning really well. They don't kick out much, so we're going to get a lot of opportunity for either counter attack or practice our rebuilding from kick contest. So there's going to be and our defence is going to get a good workout because they play with a lot of flair. There's a lot of Italian internationals in there. not scared to have a real go, and they'll want to beat us because they want to progress up the URC log. So it's a really good hit out for us before before the final.
Yeah. Given that is a follow up to that, do you stick with a game that you've been playing and building on all season, or do you go into playoff mode, into finals mode?
No, we won't change too much from what we've been doing. I think it's more around just us being more accurate. Certain aspects of our game. Wasn't happy with the forwards last week. We could be better. I was really happy with the effort around the park and how we found a way to win a game, which was possibly, if I scripted it, I wouldn't have thought we'd win like that. But just our really happy with the way we used ball and transitions and turnover ball, and just some parts of the games that we've been working really hard on, where we were so important to us getting over the line last week. But I think, like I said earlier, I think it's more around us fixing parts of our game up that we know are going to be crucial in the final. But I've asked the players to focus on Benetton. I know it's really exciting times ahead for us with a big final in London, but I think we've got to perform well against Benetton. And we've got the Cardiff game the following week as well. So it's really important that we don't get too far ahead of ourselves and keep the boys focused on next job.
Thanks very much, John. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
May I go ahead and ask?
And useful, you may proceed.
Thank you very much. John, good morning. I hope it is well. John, you look at this block of the season now and everything becomes about momentum, not just leading into the final, but you've always spoken about finishing strong in the season. How important is this Benetton game for gaining momentum right throughout the season? Because if you finish the season strong, most probably then you'll be able to have a better view of what's gone right, what's going to start the following season.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is important that we maintain some momentum. Obviously, the team that I've named tomorrow, there's a lot of continuity about it. There's also a lot around confidence. We've won 6 out of the last 7 games, so we're starting to build nicely towards the back end of the season, and obviously we've got this real opportunity to win some silverware, and so like you mentioned, it's important that we create some continuity. There's obviously massive amount of planning going on behind the scenes in terms of the fact that we have to travel to London for this final. There's all sorts of details around travel and accommodation and et cetera. But like I said to Jan earlier, it's just really important we focus on the next job. I gave the players a couple of days off to freshen up. We've come back and, you can see there's a nice bounce in their step. So the key for us is to make sure that we go out there and play well in front of our home crowd, which is really important to us. We just feel like we're winning some support back after a disappointing big part of the season, and we just want to keep that support. So yeah, the players are really excited about the next 2 or 3 weeks, but it's really important that we focus just on what's right ahead of us now, and that's Benetton.
Jan, you may proceed with your question.
Sorry, that was an old hand, but if you need me to, I can ask another question.
You're more than welcome to proceed with the question if you have one, Jan.
John, if we can just look, obviously with the team announcement, there's a whole list of injuries. How many of those guys are close to coming back, and will any of them perhaps be available for the final?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Pepsi Buthelezi has a hand injury, but the medical team's doing some really good work and with him, where we're hoping he's going to travel with us. Ethan Hooker hurt his ankle. And yeah, it's going to be touch and go for Ethan, but he's showing good signs of improvement every day. And who was the other one? Emil Van Heerden. Yeah, he's unlikely to play in the final. So yeah, luckily we've got pretty good backup at lock. He'll struggle to make it.
Yeah, and Kerwin Bosch?
Kerwin's showing some really good signs now with his shoulder. I'm hoping that he's going to be able to play against Cardiff.
Thanks.
Okay, mate.
Vim, you may proceed with your question.
Hi, John. I hope you're well. Just you spoke earlier in the season about giving Gerwan Grobler a chance at the flank, and just with him starting this weekend, what are you hoping to see in that performance?
Yeah, like he's been a nice surprise for me with his ability to be able to win ball, particularly from kickoff. He's probably one of the better receivers from kickoff in South Africa. He's got great hands. He's naturally enjoys attack, and he's, like I say, he's got a nice little skill set around offloading and his continuity game, and he's mobile. So he ticks a lot of the boxes for a good 7. His test is going to become in the defence, so that's his challenge. Hoping he really steps up his tackle count and really accurate around the tackle. So it's a little experiment I've wanted to try, and I've got that opportunity this week. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, Pepsi's still got to come back, and I've got Lapis Lapiskakni on the bench who's more familiar in that role. But it's something that I wanted to experiment and see if it adds a flavour to our, adds a different flavour to our team, if you like. Obviously, it makes our line out stronger. So there's a real positive aspect around that.
Are there any further questions?
I'm all good, thanks.
Good.
Thank you, media, for joining us. That concludes today's team announcement presser.